Alright, hello everybody and welcome to the first live stream that I'm doing. It is great to have you all here. Hans, you and I have been chatting a little bit, so at least I know Hans is in here. I think Nicola is watching, my wife is also watching a bit. And then for all of those who are joining, thank you for popping in. I will try to watch on my phone here as the comments come through, but yeah, I only have one monitor, so it's going to be a little bit difficult sometimes to reply, but I'm going to do my best. So let's have a look. We are going to jump right into Subnautica. I haven't played this in ages. I think let's actually go for a survival game, at least because I'm most likely going to die, and if I am going to die, then, I don't want to start over again. At least I want something for the live stream, so let's do survive and see whether we can survive. Oh yeah, Hans, as you mentioned here about the killer dolphins, the killer whales, definitely those things. If they were coming after us, I would be terrified as well.
Launch in 3, 2, 1.
At this point, I would completely lose it. Right, I first have to get used to the controls of this game again. I know for a fact I'm going to constantly press escape when I should be pressing tab. Let's have a look here. I hope you guys can hear me. I'm going to try to commentate as I'm going along as well. We first need to probably just get everything sorted, and then we're going to see what's happening on this planet.
You have suffered minor head trauma. This is considered an optimal outcome. This PDA has now rebooted in emergency mode with one directive to keep you alive on an alien world. Please refer to the databank for detailed survival advice. Good luck.
Thank you, PDA. Right, and immediately we are in the middle of the ocean with a nice little wreck over there and some things flying or gliding, hovering, doing something over there.
Hull failure.
Oh wow. Okay.
Life signs detected.
Zero life signs. Okay. First thing I guess we can do is oh, okay, so we've spawned right by some floaters. That's going to be interesting. Let's follow one of the very few tutorials and actually break some limestone. Limestone I do quite like. Calcium carbonate. There are quite a few limestone deposits in the general area, not quite exactly where I am, but close to where I am in the world. One of the most famous what's it called? Caves. That's one of the most famous caves in our general area is actually a limestone cave, the Kango Caves. That's quite an extensive network of caves in the limestone. Oh, come on, ladderfish. There we go. Okay.
May have unexpected applications. Utilizing alien resources.
The Reaper couldn't eat anything it grabs with its hooks. The Reaper Leviathan. I have to think again which one. Oh, the Reaper. Okay, yes, that's the. Yes, I'm not looking forward to meeting the Reaper Leviathan again. First, I have to think what on earth is the Reaper, because I haven't seen it in such a long time. Yeah, I wonder the Reaper Leviathan. Those hooks in front remind me very much of the. Kind of like pincers of a crab, of a crustacean. I'm not sure. They are vertebrates, these guys, though. The Reapers. Though they're more closely related to the Peepers, I think, if I'm not mistaken. We'll have to double check the PDA entry into that. Well, considering that this is an alien planet, I guess that if there are some things that don't make sense for us in the way that we view life, it could also be chalked up to, well, it's an alien planet. They could have some kind of like a propulsion cannon type thing where they could pull up their prey closer to them. And on Earth, at least, a lot of fish will have the what's it called? The buckle suction method. Come on, Peeper. There we go. Finally, a little snack for later. The buckle suction, which is when they open their mouths very quickly and they open the buccal cavity, which basically the mouth cavity. And I'm just going to turn the the life pod beacon off. There we go. They basically open up their mouths very quickly and in the process create a suction. And that sucks in prey, and it's possible, I guess, that the Reaper Leviathan could also have that type of thing, which they could do. Let's have a look. Need some food, need some water. Let's just cook something to eat.
The fabricator cooks small organisms while disposing of the skeletal structure, bodily fluids, and internal organs, thus rendering them safe for human consumption.
Make some more water for later as well. Of course, as we go along, feel free to pop any questions you guys have for me down in the chat as well. Any questions regarding the game, about ecology, about what on earth I do for a living, anything you guys can think of, pop it in the chat there. I will do my best to answer as we go along as well. Okay, consultant ecologist. I think they, as far as I recall, they had a few people that did consult to some extent in this game. I'm not sure whether they actually consulted an ecologist per se, but they did have people actually being involved with the design, obviously, of the creatures, but also so that it could make sense, at least as well.
Your probability of survival has just increased to unlikely, but plausible.
But I must say, I have been thinking quite a lot about, like, if a gaming company were to approach me, for example, to consult on that. Like, I don't think I even need to be paid for that. That would just be a labor of love for me, being able to consult on the ecology of the creatures and make it as ecologically feasible. Hello, Crashfish, we're just going to swim past here. And not die, oh my word, hey. I would love to be like a consulting ecologist for a game that is being developed. If Wildcard is listening, you know, with Arc 2 in the works, I would definitely not mind being involved with something like that. Hey, that would be, I think that would probably be one of the most fun things I could do. Like, I do a lot of fun things, I believe. Well, in my opinion, I do a lot of fun things. But if I could do that, that would just be, like, extraordinary. Let's try to get some more copper, I think. And, oh, I just foresee that there is a crashfish there as well.
In the local cave systems,
let's head out.
is an essential component of the repair tool.
Yes, so at least I do have sulfur. I will now be able to repair the life pod over there. So this would basically be a nice little coral reef. This is really a great place to start out. Coral reefs in shallower parts of the world. Most of these coral that do grow here. So, well, I say most of these coral and then I don't actually look at coral. But most of the coral around a reef area would actually need light, sunlight to function. They have this symbiotic relationship with algae, with zooxanthellae, which they will... the zooxanthellae will actually photosynthesize. Oh, we need rubber for that. Will photosynthesize, and in the process, they actually create sugar, which the coral then use, and the coral provide a nice safe spot for the zooxanthellae to actually live. They live in the cells of the coral. But we are going to have to go and look for some kelp now. Wait, let me actually go on top of the lifeboat to see if we can see anything from up there. So kelp would generally be in slightly deeper water than the reefs. Reefs would be in more shallow environments. So those are still the coral tubes. Let's have a look. I think that general direction we could probably get some kelp. There's a little bit of a drop off over here, deeper water coming up, and that could lead to either kelp or it could lead to the red grass area. It may actually be too deep for kelp. Kelp also need a little bit of light to photosynthesize, so may not be able to find that there. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, there are definitely some bigger creature here. There's a reef back way in the distance over there, but there's also some kelp. Okay, so I had more or less an idea of where to go. Right, so Yes, oxygen, oxygen. We need oxygen. I suspect I'm going to die due to a lack of oxygen, probably within the first hour of playing this game. So, so just a heads up. I do tend to forget that I don't yet have an oxygen tank. So let's have a look here. We do have nice clusters. Let's grab 4 clusters. Will give us quite a bit of rubber, silicon rubber. So this, of course, or these being massive kelp plants. In South Africa, we do have quite a few kelp species. There's our life pod. And kelp just being macroalgae, very, very large brown algae species, which are found, as far as I recall, only in ocean or marine environments. So you won't generally find, you'll find very few seaweeds, as these guys are in freshwater. In South Africa, there's only one species that can actually even handle the freshwater conditions. By far, the majority of seaweed would need to be in the sea, would need to be in the ocean, because they need the saltwater environment. Saltwater around them don't do too well with freshwater. But anyway, the big seaweed there, the kelp, in South Africa, our largest species is, or the largest common species, would be the, which one is it? That is Eclonia maxima, which is a, what we call a giant kelp. Grows to about 12 meters in height, so about 36, 37, 38 feet in length. Although they are in America, I believe, it's Macrocystus angustifolius, which is a species that grows up to 20 or 30 meters, if I'm not mistaken. So about double the height of South Africa's largest species. Okay, so we've got, we need a few, we need a little bit more thingamajigs. Limestone to get titanium, and now of course it is darker, so we have to first get a flashlight. Let's have a look here. We can make a flashlight. What do we need? We need glass. I think we can make glass. Yes, we can make 1 glass, and we need batteries. Hey, Harun, I can see you there as well. Welcome to the chat. Well, we've been carrying on. We're just starting out with the game, but welcome, welcome. Glad you made it. Let's have a look here. Power cell we can make now as well. Great stuff. But more importantly, we can now actually see what on earth is happening in the world around us. Yeah, I don't actually want to shine the light inside here, so let's put that away. I need a knife. That is what I also need.
Weapons were removed from standard survival blueprints following the massacre on Abraxas Prime. The knife remains the only exception.
So interesting with the knife being the only weapon in Subnautica. Some of you may know this already, but the developers of Subnautica Unknown Worlds, the game that they had before Subnautica was a first-person shooter type game, a natural selection, quite a cool game, but you need a group of people to actually play it, where you have some human marines basically in space, along with aliens, well, the Kara, which is theorized to actually be a mutated form of the Kara bacterium that we actually have in Subnautica. I think it is set after the events of Subnautica as well. But in any case, in the Unknown Worlds game, in natural selection, of course, there were lots of guns involved. You know, it's humans versus aliens, basically. And then there was, I think shortly, while they were developing Subnautica, there was a school shooting or some mass shooting happening. And they decided that, you know what, we are going to make a game that is very different from natural selection, where there was a lot of games, or a lot of guns involved. And so they made Subnautica, but they kept guns out of it on purpose. On purpose, making it that the only weapon you have is a knife. So, yeah, it was an active decision by the developers to go for more of a passive game than an active shooter. And you see, I did tell you that I'm probably going to die, and we almost, but didn't die. Now, I will possibly be able to make a tank, an oxygen tank, and actually last a little bit longer underwater here. So Harun, where are you? Or Harun? Oh, sorry, it's Harun. I'm not sure. Why on earth did I? Oh, that's a Z that I put up there. Okay, so Harun, where are you in the world that it is 4 in the afternoon? That is, it's not UK, is it? Because we in South Africa here, it's currently just after 6.
Consistent with damage to the Aurora's
And it's getting a little bit darker out now as we are heading into, well, closer to winter here. It's getting darker a little bit earlier here where I am. And it is cloudy and everything, so yeah. But yeah, if you can afford to be in bed at 4 in the afternoon, then that is, you know, I think a win. It means that you don't have to
using locally available.
Just waiting for the people to stop talking.
For your safety, this setting cannot be overridden.
Okay, I would see that as an absolute win if you can still be relaxed and chilled this time of day. I've had to do a whole bunch of things thus far. Let's have a look. I need to actually repair the ship. So, silicon rubber, cave, sulfur, and titanium. I've just put everything away, obviously. That should be enough. Have a look here. Repair tool. Yes. Okay, yes, from the UK. Yes. And Hans, you are from Canada, if I'm not mistaken, eh? So it takes me about, we timed it yesterday in a little test. It takes about 30 seconds for me. Well, it takes about 30 seconds to reply to messages if I see it. So, yeah. Let's have a look now. We've got the systems up and running. Power should now be generating a little bit easier. Oh, and we should repair the radio. We should repair that as well. That's what we should also do. Aha, okay, yes. I think at some point I remember you mentioned from Canada. I was like, pretty sure that you said Canada.
Rescue operation will be dispatched to your location in 9 hours.
Okay.
Continue to monitor for emergency transmissions from other life pods.
So 9,999 hours for us to be rescued. I don't think we've got enough time for that. Okay, let's have a look. What I should also be doing is actually making a scanner so that we can properly scan everything around us. And in order to do that, I need, I think, a battery again, so I need more limestone. Let's have a look and see if I can. I just saw your comment of sorry there, Hans. And I realized after I asked whether you are from Canada, I automatically put the A afterwards.
30 seconds.
Okay, okay, yeah, we're quite deep. I need to actually make a little bladder to descend or ascend a little bit easier. Yes, you did want to trade me a moose and an elephant, and we had the honey badger and a beaver, I think, was also involved there. I think if we can trade the wolverine and the honey badger for that would be, I think, a fair trade. I think honey badgers and wolverines basically being evil, or both being very determined in life. Let's call it determined. Ah, okay, wonderful. There's some sandstone there. There's some. There we go. Some sandstone nodules.
Are an essential component of many.
Let's have a look here. The area where I am in the world has a lot of sandstone, although never in nodules like this. Always in proper rock form. The mountains that's just to the north of the town that I am is actually made up of sandstone, mostly sandstone, with a little bit of quartzite as well. So quartzite just being when sandstone is put under a lot of pressure and heat due to the tectonic plates movement. Oh, there we go. Let's just head up and not drown. And so eventually, basically just to some extent liquefies it or semi-liquefies it and turns it into quartzite. But we do have some sandstone here as well. Let's have a look here. Knife, yes. Let's get everything we can possibly need. Some table coral, that'll be great to have. And let's see. Right, what do you guys want to see me do first? Because this is basically just starting out, getting everything sorted, making better tanks, getting everything sorted, and then heading out and exploring the ocean a little bit. Going to find some life pods, all those types of things. let's see. Oh yes, I need to make some more of this. Dun, 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 dun. You guys should come to South Africa. It's not cold, well, not as cold in most parts of South Africa, and it's not quite as snowy. Sometimes we do have snow. Not a lot. Some areas have got snow more often than others. See there again, I click the escape instead of the tabs button. What do I need? I need better oxygen tank, 2 glass, some titanium and silver ore. Can I make glass? Can I make 2 glass? That's the important thing. No. But yes, I can. Okay, wonderful. I need to stay underwater a little bit longer, so may as well make some better tanks. I think I need 4 of those, 2 glass, 1 silver, and if I'm not mistaken, the actual tank taken out. Then we can make a better one. Great stuff. And let's put the little mushrooms away. Take that out. How's my... Everything's alright there. Okay. What I really need is... I need a builder. I need the building instrument. A building tool. Let's see. Habitat builder. That's the one. Computer chip, wiring kit, and battery. Wiring kit I know is 2 silver. Battery I know is 1 copper and 2 acid mushrooms. Computer chip. Oh goodness, computer chip. I haven't done this in such a long time. Table coral, copper wire, and gold. Okay, we need... I forgot gold. I think I had gold. Yes, I've got 1 gold. I need more copper. That is what I need. And right on cue, here's some limestone. Oh, yeah. Snow... Oh, crash fish, crash fish, crash fish. No, 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 no. Thankfully, don't have the greatest of turning circles. Not quite explosive. So apparently the crash fish was designed or was based on the porcupine fish, which we have in South Africa, or not South Africa, in the world, basically living in the open ocean, where they are a type of puffer fish that if they feel threatened, of course, suck in water and then puff themselves up as a defense mechanism, except that they also then have spines all around them. And the idea is then that it makes it difficult to actually be swallowed by a predator. And the crash fish, which we have right over there, looking very similar, also with a little... Okay, now I need to swim, need to swim, need to swim. I'm not going to make it. Oof. I know 2 in quick succession can kill you, but I like to live dangerously, you know. Anyway, where was I? There's the thingamajig. Let's grab the sulfur there. But the crash fish, of course, based on that design, except that they explode, which our ones do not. Our porcupine fish that we've got do not explode when you go and touch them. I'm not sure, I think as far as I recall, the porcupine fish also contains toxins, very similar to the puffer fish, because they are in the same group. But the whole idea is they want to be too large to really swallow. And survive in that way. What on earth made that sound? That was quite a cute little squeaky sound. Okay, I think I've got enough copper to go for that now. Oh yes, the the dolphins that are known to get high by, well, basically not necessarily consuming, but coming into close contact with pufferfish. You know, if there's... Dolphins are weird. Dolphins are weird. We'll probably not go into why dolphins are weird. I need to stay PG on this channel as much as I possibly can. I think my wife is probably snickering. Yes, she is snickering next to me where she's playing Ark over there. She knows why dolphins are weird. Let's have a look. What did I want to make? I wanted to make... two things. I need to make the airbag. Where is that? There we go. The air bladder. Okay, I need silicone rubber in my inventory. Great stuff. Just so that we can ascend more quickly or more easily. Great. Right, and then I also wanted... Can't make the rebreather yet, that I already have. Oh, the habitat builder wiring kit, computer chip, and a battery. Okay, let's make the battery. Let's make the copper wire apparently first. Then let's make the battery. And the computer chip. Let's look here. Oh, I didn't know that Brexit would also affect you and how you actually get... Is it the fruit trees that you say it's getting plants that's difficult? Oh my word. Here in South Africa, we thankfully, well, at least where I am, we can still relatively easily get fruit trees and stuff. We actually have a whole bunch of fruit trees growing in, well, I say growing in the garden, but they're kind of being swamped out by everything else. I wanted to have a habitat builder. That's what I wanted to make. What else do I need? Oh, wiring kit. Here we go. Oh, I still need 1 silver. Wonderful. Let's go get some silver, shall we? Oh, wow. What is a blue Java ice cream banana? That sounds fun. Oh, hello, infected rabbit ray. Let's have a look here. Grab some quartz crystals, because why not? Oh, crash fish. Oh, crash fish. I am probably going to die now. Or not. Okay, let's go grab the sulfur, since we did escape with our life. Grab the sulfur. Come on. There we go. Some more copper. As we would say in Afrikaans, niet te versmij. That is not to be passed over or glossed over. Sandstone, that's what I'm looking for. Sandstone. So Haroon, you say you most likely won't see fruit on the banana there, on the... What's the... blue Java ice cream banana. So yeah, is that because of the cold? Because that's quite sad. Thankfully, we've got more mild temperatures over here. Frost occasionally. Where I grew up, we had quite bad frost. We called it black frost because after a frost event, everything is just black in color. Sandstone, that's what I'm after. Hello, Mr. Stalker. So looking for sandstone. I forgot we're looking for sandstone.
Life on this planet grows in unusually distinct and diverse ecological biomes. Further study recommended.
Well, don't worry, lady. We will definitely study the ecological biomes further. So a biome basically just being a large homogeneous area, an area where the vegetation or the plants are similar throughout that region. So in terms of land, we've of course got things like grasslands and forests, and all those are different biomes. And here we've got coral reef, we've got kelp beds, we've got the red grass areas, and of course then we've got our deeper biomes as well. And yes, Hans, I do agree that the crashfish most likely would probably go extinct. Oh, I don't have a scanner yet. I'm used to my scanner being in the number 2 slot, and I just pulled out the boomerang. That doesn't work. But yeah, I would agree that the crashfish here would most likely go extinct if it keeps on going the way it does, with exploding whenever something gets too close to their nest. Now, the thing is that strategy could potentially be worthwhile if they had more than just one egg, and if there were no more than one event that they had to explode if there's a predator coming to their nest. So if predators don't come to their nest more than once over the course of that nest having eggs. So there are a whole bunch of animals that actually just breed once in their life, and we call that semelparous, S-E-M-E-L, and then parous, like P-A-R-O-U-S. Yes, semelparous, where an animal will just breed once and then die during or after that breeding attempt. I mean, things like salmon would be a good example of that. And the crash fish here could possibly count as a semmelperous organism, where it's putting all of its energy into one reproductive attempt, and then if that attempt fails, then they're kind of screwed. And here, though, they tend to just prematurely die by waiting for you to get remotely close to their nest and then aggressively chasing you and dying in the process. Now, there is a possibility that it could actually work. It could work if you sacrifice enough individuals of the population. If you're looking at animals that are toxic, certain butterflies, for example, like monarch butterflies, I'm not sure whether you get those in where you are, Hans. I know they are in North America. They, of course, migrate, I think, to Mexico. We've got a non-migrating monarch butterfly in South Africa, where they are toxic, but the birds, for example, or predators, need to first recognize that they are toxic. And in the process of them recognizing that these things are toxic, they have to eat or consume a few of these individuals. So those ones that are consumed do die, but the predators do realize that the patterns they see is actually, it's toxic. It's a aposematic coloration, it is called, where it's brightly colored to tell things that, listen, I am toxic, do not eat me. And predators tend to recognize the patterns, the colors, and the patterns. Oh, let's drop those things there. And oh, hello. Oh, that was a tooth I dropped. There we go, there's a tooth. Hello. I wondered what sound did I hear? There's some more lead. I need silver, I don't need lead. But in any case, as I was speaking, before I was so rudely interrupted by a full inventory, animals that are toxic will use the aposematic coloration to tell predators that, listen, I'm toxic, don't go and eat me. And then predators do recognize those colors and those patterns. But it takes time. It takes the death of a few individuals for a young specimen or young predator to realize that, listen, these things are toxic, don't eat them. And the same thing could be here with the... Let me actually put the light on so you guys actually have something to look at while we're swimming around here. But it could be that the crash fish uses the same principle, where they give this warning sound. And then if you still carry on, they will chase you and they will explode. And in the process, then you will die, or at least be injured, and recognize that, okay, well, maybe you should stay away from these things that make these horrible sounds. So it could be a form of not aposematic coloration, but let's call it aposematic sound. And if enough individuals actually hear those sounds and experience the pain, it could be worthwhile as a strategy.
In our emergency sea glide, so if we're late for the rendezvous, don't panic. Also, don't go home without us. Seriously. 3 out.
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
Okay, so we've got a life pod to actually go and have a look at. Marvelous. Okay, so you do have them in Canada as well. Okay, so I didn't know how far up north they actually migrated, but great to know that they actually get that far. I would love to see something like those massive butterfly migrations. The closest I've come was actually now in January. We were in the Kruger National Park and we saw, it was after rain, it was a relatively open patch, and there were a whole bunch of termites that actually came out. Let's see, we need a wiring kit still. And the termite adults were out, and then at the same time there was a migration of butterflies actually coming past as well. And not massive amounts. I've seen a few more of those particular butterflies, but at least it was something to see. But to see those massive groups of monarchs would really be something extraordinary.
And to record alien biological data. Caution. Continued degradation of the auroras.
Let's put that in 2.
May result in a quantum detonation. Continuing to monitor.
So while we're just swimming around, also, hello gasopod, also still looking for sandstone to actually break open for the silver inside, because I need 1 more silver to make a wiring kit, and then we can actually make our own little And we'll talk about you, Mr. Farty Bubbles, a little bit later to make a little habitat so that we can actually start storing stuff and carry on making a nice little base for us. Yeah, still have 90 seconds of air left. That's still alright. Should be some sandstone here in the deeper area, if I'm not mistaken. There's some there. Let's hope for silver, guys. Gold. Okay, we did too well. We didn't get the silver medal, we got the gold one. Let's have a look here. Any silver on these weird columns? I suspect these columns were formed by wind erosion when the planet was actually not completely underwater, when the water levels were lower. We would most likely find similar structures just off the coast where I am, where when the ocean level was actually, when the ocean water level was lower, there was a massive area called the Agulhas Plain that actually stretched, I think, another 100 kilometers into the ocean. A massive flat area, grazing lands where animals used to occur, and I suspect there would be some similar columns underwater there as well.
Suggest this biome supports extensive biodiversity and connects to a number of small cave networks.
Oh wow. Just saw the comment there of a forest of orange. Yes, that would be amazing to see. Really, really extraordinary. Animal migrations really are amazing, especially considering that some of them will go back to the same spot. Let's just scan this as well for sandstone. Some individuals will go back to the same area. Ah, there's a silver. We'll go to the same place over and over and over and over every time. There's a shrike species, the lesser... or the redback shrike, sorry, I was thinking of the lesser grey shrike we've got in South Africa. The redback shrike in South Africa, that they migrate from South Africa to Siberia and northern Russia. And every year they go back to the same territory. So if you see one here now in summer, and you come back next year, you'll see the same one sitting in the same area, in the same territory, unless it has died in the meantime. The ability of animals, especially birds, to find their way home, or to their normal home, it's just amazing. It boggles the mind sometimes. Yes, I heard that the monarch butterflies, their numbers are under threat. A lot of these migrating species, if they, as far as I recall with the monarch butterflies, they also take a few generations to actually make the journey across. From Mexico to the north and then back again to the south. So if the stopovers are destroyed in any way, then that really is a massive problem for them. Let's see, can we make the habitat builder? Yes, we can. Finally, we can start building a habitat. There was a species of locust.
Designed to construct habitats capable of withstanding.
Let's just wait for the lady to finish talking. Let's find a nice little outcrop with a view. An outcrop with a view. Let's head to this area. Yeah, we can make a foundation at least. Great stuff. Let's have a look. Oh, yes, Haroon. The episode where Ash let his Butterfree go. I actually, last year, for the first time, I think it was last year. It was either last year or the year before. I watched Pokemon for the first time, like, ever. I've played Pokemon Go for a number of years now. I haven't played in a few months though. I've kind of been busy with, starting a YouTube channel and all that. But we actually, my wife and I watched Pokemon, or the ones that were on Netflix at least, last year, I think for the first time, well, for the first time in my life, I actually watched it, which was quite fun to watch. And yes, I remember that episode where he actually let his Butterfree go. And there was that little... scene. It was a migration, wasn't it? Or it was a breeding event or something happening there with him. Let's actually build another tube here. I need to... oh yes, we turn with the mouse wheel. There we go. Oh, and we need a door to actually go in. Where are the doors? The doors are... hatch. There we go. She couldn't find the hatch. And then we need a solar panel. Let's put it up here. Solar panel, of course, needs some sunlight. Which way are we facing? Let's have a look. Where's the sun? I at least want it scientifically accurate. Where's the sun? That direction? That way. Okay. So let's see. The afternoon sun would be in that direction. So let's base are solar panels in this direction, so we can get some technically nice sunlight striking the solar panels in the late afternoon, so that in the evenings we can have a nice lot of sun. In theory, at least, that is how it would work. We need more titanium. Okay, that's okay. And what I also really want in here,
Welcome aboard, Captain.
thank you, would be some lockers. Now, the salmon migrations also would be amazing to see. I love animal migrations. Animal migrations overall is just astounding. Let's put that one there as well. But as I was saying, if the migration spots, if the stopovers are destroyed in any way or deteriorates in any way, that's the word, deteriorates in any way, then the species really is at a great risk of extinction. If we're looking at the locust species that I was mentioning and they never talked about now, or didn't talk about now, where's our lifeboat? There we go. The Rocky Mountain locust, for example, was in North America and the US, along the Rocky Mountains in particular, and they were probably the most abundant invertebrate in large parts of the US. And then they just kind of went extinct in a relatively short span of time. And that's because their breeding areas were actually plowed up. The areas in which they bred were destroyed and they just suddenly didn't breed and as a result went extinct. And similar things would happen if the breeding or the stopover sites of migrating species actually gets destroyed. Then that species tends to be reduced in number quite a bit. The same thing happens with a lot of wader birds that also moves from one area to another. There is was it the Inuit curlew or the Eskimo curlew, or there was a migrating bird from North America that moved from Canada down to Mexico as well, and then it went extinct, I think in the 1900s somewhere, because their stopover sites were actually destroyed and they were hunted along those stopover sites as well. And they were just hunted in their thousands because they were congregating in these areas, in the feeding sites, basically in feeding sites, congregating in large numbers and easy to kill in the process. And I think with the monarch butterflies, if I'm not mistaken, it's largely due to pesticide use in areas, also the destruction of these stopover sites, the big trees in which they actually stop over from point A to point B to point C to point G in the end. Oh yes, need to get the scanner room. Yes, now that we've got the scanner, at least I'll be able to go and hunt for some parts. I need a medical kit just in case I die again or I'm injured by the crash fish, because let's be honest, I'm just going into the caves willy-nilly and I'm probably going to be injured a little bit there, more severely than I have already been injured by the crash fish hiding in there. So the monarch butterfly we've got in South Africa is quite an awesome species in that and I'm pretty sure the monarchs all over the world are the same in that regard. Not the same genus, I think, as far as I recall, not the same genus. But they all have what we call second-hand toxicity as well, where they basically get their toxins from the food that they eat. In South Africa, we also call them milkweed butterflies because they feed on milkweed plants. So you may be familiar with some milkweed weedy type plants growing. I know there are some milkweeds in the northern, or basically throughout North America as well. There's a grav trap that's going to be useful to have as well. Now, but in any case, they basically get the toxins. The caterpillars feed on these milkweeds. The milkweed would be what we call a host plant. That's also where, if the host plants of a butterfly are destroyed, then it's really bad for them because they need those. Many species are basically evolved to, or many species evolved to feed, or the caterpillars feed on a specific species, and if that host plant disappears in an area, then the butterfly also will not be able to breed and will also disappear from that area. What have we got? A beacon. This will also be useful to have. Let's have a look. There's the other beacon. Great stuff. other fragment we need, and then we can get 2 titanium from that 3rd fragment over there as well. But as I was saying, the caterpillars of the monarchs will actually feed on the toxic milkweed plants, and then they don't die from it, obviously, because that will be pretty pointless going around just eating a poisonous plant and then dying yourself. But they take those toxins and then they become toxic themselves, and then when they metamorphose and become adults, the adults still have those toxins in them, and then of course they are also toxic still. I think there we go, that's our base over there. What I also need is a sea glide. Can we make the sea glide yet? That is the question. Did I get enough parts now, or do I need one more? I can. Battery, lubricant, copper wire, and titanium. Okay, those things are all relatively easy to get. So we are going to be zooming around the ocean here in a moment. Whenever I hear the word zooming, I always think of Rat Race with Rowan Atkinson in it as well, with that movie. It was one of my favorites when I grew up as a child. Let's see here. What do we need? Oh, I need quartz. Okay, that's what's stopping me from doing anything there. Let's have a look here. What we need? We need lubricant. We'll get that from the kelp. We need copper wire, so we need 2 copper. We need battery, so we need 3 copper. We've got 2 copper in here. Okay. 1 more copper. Probably have in the life pod, but let's go and have a look here. Get some seed clusters of these algae over here, of the kelp. And if we happen to see any fragments, we need to scan those as well. Okay, I did just see the wreck flash into existence up ahead, so we must know that in... Hello? Hey! Yeah, don't leave me alone. I'm just minding my own business, Mr. Stalker. There, go play with your piece of metal. Oh, man. Okay, now let's head off, shall we? Actually, you know what? While we are here, I know we shouldn't be feeding the wildlife, but let's feed the wildlife, shall we? Come on, Stalker. Come on, little friend. Let's go here. Come, let's play. Come on. Don't be like that. Come. I know you wanna. Come. There we go. Feeding the local wildlife. Local predators. And of course, now that we have played with him, well, given him something, I think he may actually bring some metal to us as well. Or not. He's being a jerk and going away that way. Okay, fine. Let's go back for oxygen, shall we? Lubricant, that's what I was busy getting. Yes, okay. Lubricant and copper. We still need 1 more copper as well. Oh, yes, plant beds. Plant beds. We definitely will be building quite a bit of quite a few plant beds as well. Just need the thingamajig, the sea glide. I think that's what it's called, the sea glide, so that we can zoom around a little bit faster. But that's a thermal vent, don't want to go in there now. Just need a sea glide, and then we'll be able to go to the island and get some... what is the... Oh, the blueprints. Yes, there we go. We can get the design. We can get the... Is it blueprint? Yeah, blueprint for that. I'm used to Ark now, where the blueprints are not... Well, there are blueprints there as well, but there are also engrams, the designs of the things that you want to build. But I need copper. There we go. Come on, give me copper. Of course, titanium. Copper. Bash you. There we go. Got some copper. And some titanium. Okay, fine. That's alright. We got copper. Life pod is over there. I've taken off the life pod beacon. I'm constantly looking for the life pod, but I also don't want the life pod beacon everywhere the whole time. Yes. Hello. I love the sounds. I mean, yes, this game is amazing. Sheesh. The sounds the animals make, there's always something happening. Even the music in the background, just relaxing, but then also...
Survivor, you have exceeded your weekly exercise
Thank you.
quotient by 500%. Data indicates that swimming was your favorite activity.
Deployables.
Be sure to vary your routine for uniform muscle development.
Okay, I don't think we have an option.
Construction of vehicles and power plants.
Copper wire. Copper wire, and then 2 more mushrooms for the battery. And then we should be able to make the Sea Glide. Hello, Suddenly Boop. Welcome to the chat, to the stream. And Nicholas, hey, welcome. Why am I teaching them poor ecological practices? Never feed the wildlife. Oh, that's why. Okay, yes. Yeah, I did say, you know, we shouldn't be feeding the wildlife, but here we are feeding the wildlife. This is an alien planet, so maybe we do need to feed the wildlife. You know, we can't assume that we shouldn't be feeding the wildlife.
This is Life Pod 6. I have a passenger on board. Coordinates attached. We've landed 1 kilometer from the crash site, but there's radiation in between us and the rendezvous. Request immediate assistance. 6 out.
Okay, so another life pod.
Will increase your effective exploration range. For your safety, please pack supplies for long journeys and stay within 5 kilometers of the nearest life pod or habitat. Signal coordinates interrupted. Approximate transmission origin recorded to data bank.
Let's get some more water. I know we can get salt and then the coral there. We'll probably get that as well, just to get some better water than just boring old filtered bladderfish water. First need to get some more salt though. Oh, I don't know why I was swimming around with toggle map. There we go. Yes, they made that switch. Yes, that's a nice quality of life change that they made. Not sure why I was swimming around with a flashlight if I still had now that I have this Sea Glide to zoom around with. It's got some more quartz as well. There's salt. Brilliant. Now we'll get some better water. Yeah, I do agree that with Ark, there is definitely more of an interaction between the organisms. There's some interaction, of course, here in Subnautica with things like the stalker hunting peepers and things like that. Hey, Mr. Bladderfish, you can come after us, but you can't hurt us anymore. But there's not really a lot happening. Yeah, sure, the gasopods over here will also release their little fart bubbles over there if a predator gets too close, but also not that much. And the predators don't really interact with one another. There is definitely more of an interaction in Ark. But then again, I do think that the design of the creatures here... Oh yes, I probably need oxygen. The design of the creature here in this game is... it's just amazing. Okay. Oh yes, I'm getting some water. And I need... oh yes, I need to go and whack the coral. Coral tubes. I think I need only one. Not going to over harvest the corals here. And everybody, meet Cinnamon, who has just come running in for some food. She's looking for some food. Let's put that down here for her. Oh, hello. And we have our other cat here as well, so be back with you in a moment, guys. Hello, Memphis. Cinnamon.
Warning.
I'm sure you guys know how demanding cats can be.
Aurora's drag core has reached critical state. Quantum detonation will...
They want food, they want it now. I was busy with water. That's what I was busy with. First, need to make bleach, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, salt and the coral tube.
For cleaning wounds and purifying water.
The bleach here, NaClO. So I'm guessing the oxygen would come from the coral tube sample, because coral would contain a lot of calcium carbonate, so CaCO3 2. And I'm guessing that the oxygen then comes from that. And the sodium chloride, of course, that's salt. salt with oxygen in here. Interesting. Sodium hypochlorite bleach. Something tells me this is a little bit more of a description than they used to be. I can't remember that actually. I can't remember them having the formula in there previously. That's quite cool. Disinfected water. Let's get some of that. And then we'll drink our
Water ration ahead of
cheap
time
water.
will help ensure against dehydration and eventual death.
And let's make some more lubricant, I think, yeah. Oh yes, I do want to make sure that I can see it when the big ship explodes. I will be trying to be close to the surface. I will hopefully be close to the surface at that point. Oh, see, I quickly escape again. Let's make some more water over here. Yeah, I do tend to agree that with Subnautica, yes, the world does feel like it is all there for us. So let's have a look. Let's make some more food. The food I know is going to deteriorate quite quickly, but you know what? By that time, we're probably on the island, and we are probably going to be able to eat some fruit over there. Oh, I want to actually have a look at the top here. You'll find that I do a lot of this, where I jump down, and then I realized I wanted to be at the top. We'll click that radio message later on. Okay, so the sun rises. As far as I recall, the north and south is reversed in the game, or something along those lines. The map is actually weird in that it's not the same directions as we are used to. Yeah, so it will explode in, I'd say in 2 hours, so I think that front part over there is going to explode by that time. Let's have a look. There's some condensation or some fog over there on that side, and there's some... I think there's some over there. So those would be the two islands. This one is definitely the closer one, so I think... should I hazard that swim, or... I'm not sure whether that's the island or that's the island. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's head in that direction, and if we die, we die. Let's switch the lights off here. Cool guys. Well, Hans, I don't think I would view myself as a cool guy, which means I, by definition, then have to look at the explosion when that does happen. So, yeah. Let's have a look. Yes, there seems to be... Yeah, there seems to be some clouds over there on that side. So... It makes sense that these islands over here would actually be shrouded in clouds. I only thought about it recently. But with these little islands, with the air coming, the humid air or moist air coming from the ocean being blown up against that rise, that little island over there, if the rise is steep enough and it forces the air to cool down quickly enough, it will result in clouds actually forming. Which would mean that, yeah, you would have those little clouds forming over there. Let's see, we've got some reef packs over there. We've got a very square, unloaded red grass section at the bottom there. Just going to pretend that doesn't happen. Let's just swim with the local whales, basically. Hello there. Oh, and of course, this is the one with the tiger plant, or these are some of the ones with the tiger plants on here as well. So I'm just gonna just keep swimming. Nick, I'm glad you're managing to find this relaxing enough while you are writing your research. So your proposal, right? If I'm not mistaken, you mentioned that, I think. Yeah, the proposal, yes. Due date for the draft tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Let's have a look here. So that's one island there. I think that's the other island. Let's head in that direction. I actually need to make a compass. I think that's going to help me a little bit more. There's a nice shoal of fish here along with the reef pack. Lots and lots of fish would find shelter around big creatures like this reef pack over here, especially if it is a filter feeder like the reef packs are in this game. Where they are... Ah, there we go, there's the island. Where just by being close to this massive creature, they can find ways to hide amongst the crevices in the reef back over here. It's safer than just being out in the open ocean. Yeah, so Nick was actually in my class while I was lecturing the honors class this past week. It was a hell of a lot of fun for me because it wasn't lecturing in the normal sense of the word, where you have a presentation that, well, we did a little bit of a presentation, very little bit of a presentation. With honors level, it was more of teaching them a little bit of a method to, in this case, to appraise literature. We had a nice practical session. Today is Saturday, yes, so yesterday we had a very nice interactive session of appraising literature or sources. That was quite a lot of fun, I must say. I think that was one of the most fun lectures I've had, honestly, in a very, very long time. Let's have a look here. We have a whole bunch of little plants, Ming plants over here. So called because they are named after Ming vases from the from the world, from Chinese vases. Bulbo tree because the tree-like structure has a bulb at the base. Let's actually harvest this and get that tree sample and actually go and plant it at the base. Jaffa cups, yes, we are going to plant all these things later as well. We're going to have a nice little botanical room, and I'm stuck, of course. Botanical room we're going to definitely have as well. In my playthrough that I did start on the channel like a year and a half ago, that was a long time ago, never finished, I did intend to actually have a botanical room, and then I never finished the playthrough. So this time around we're going to do that. We're definitely going to have... Oh, I can't jump over that. I think I may be on the wrong island. Oh, no, I'm on the right island. There are the things I'm looking for. But we're definitely going to have an ecologist's living quarters this time around, where we're going to have a nice base with a lot of plants in it. Lots of organisms around it. Aquaria as well. Alien containment. All those types of things. We are here to study the world that we are seeing. Let's have a look. We can have the bulkhead. Yes, that's going to be useful. In terms of the bulb plants here, whether they give water, yes. If you go in there, you'll see that, yes, you can get 9 water from them and some food as well. So they're very useful to plant if you want to actually... If you want a plant that will give you water. I like to plant bulbo plants around the base, or in the base, to actually... there's some more water for us, to actually give us water when we need it.
This is the first time I've seen sunlight in months. After all that time in the deep, I'd been dreaming of it. Now that I'm back here, I'm finding it hard to enjoy alone. Father was right. We should never have left this place. We shouldn't have gone so deep. They do not want us down there. Despite my best efforts, ill health is taking hold of me. The visions are getting worse. Marguerite and Father are now part of the ecosystem of this incredible planet. It's reassuring to know that when I go, I'll join them. Until then, well, there's always the view.
That recording there, as far as I recall, was part of the trailer or release trailer or something along those lines, where Bart Torgal says, until then, at least there is the view, which, I mean, let's be honest, this is quite an awesome view. We just double check what my settings are. I think, yeah, it's on highest as far as I recall, but... Is there a way to also put subtitles in? Let's see. I must be missing it. Subtitles enabled. Okay. Just missed there. Anyway, I think maybe they don't give it with the PDA. That's true because you can actually read it. But the Bart Torgal here with the son of the 3 surviving members of the Degasi expedition. They were obviously crash landed on this planet, and this was one of the little observatory type bases that they built. And my wife is trying her best to get the dogs not to go and eat the cat food at the bottom here. So at the moment we've got 2 cats and 3 dogs in the general vicinity of me. We've got 2 dogs and 2 cats, and then my sister-in-law's 1 dog is also staying here with us. Hello, crab spider. I know. Or cave crawler. I call you crab spider, but you're a cave crawler. No, he's going to attack me. Yeah, there we go. Fine. If you go and attack me, I will kill you in self-defense. Or just chase you away. I'm probably going to just end up killing every single one of them. Come on. Yeah, now you're going to die. Yeah, that is what you get for biting me. There's another one. We're just going to dodge as much as we can. Get the exterior growth beds as well. Now, we are going to really be sorted at home, at the base.
New blueprint acquired.
Come on. Hello. Little crab. Well, I say crab, but these are definitely not crabs.
New blueprint.
But they are a great example of what we call carcinization, which is when animals evolve into a crab shape. A lot of crabs that we've got in the world are not true crabs, they're actually what we call false crabs, but they look like crabs because, well, it's a good design to have. I'm actually going to pick this marble melon up and eat the big one. The big and the small one, they are in essence the same thing. The marble melon here for eating. The big one gives me a little bit more, is it food and water? Yes, than the small one. But if I plant the small one in a little planter and then whack it with a knife, I'm going to get the same amount of seeds and than the big one, and the seeds will also, what's the word? The seeds will also grow to form the big marble melons as well.